So hi guys, I'm Shubham Agrawal and today's topic is strings. Okay, so previously we have seen about arrays and pointers in the previous lectures. So strings is also a very important topic and you can expect at least one question from this area in GATE. Okay, so let's move to the topic. So this is our today's agenda. So in this we are going to cover what is a string, then about ASCII characters, we will see what are ASCII characters, okay, and what are the value of standard characters like A, B, C, small a, small b, small c, etc. Okay, then we will study about different types of string initializations. Okay, so how we can initialize the string. Then we will see how can we take string as an input and how can we output it on the standard output. Okay, and then we will study some standard string functions like strlne, which prints the length of the string, strrev, which reverses the string, etc. Okay, then we will also do some gate questions based on strings. Okay, so let's move to what is string. Okay, so a string can be defined as a array of characters. So as you can see, so we have seen array. So we declare a array something like this. So this array is of type integer, and in this array there are four values: 10, 20, 30, and 40. Okay, and so it is an array in which four integers are there. Okay, and its size is 4. So a string is also a collection of characters. So it is also an array of characters. But the difference between a character array and string is character array we don't have to have this null character. But in string, every string should be ended with a null character. Okay. So this is a null character. So null character is /0. Okay. So \0 is our null character. Okay, so in a normal character array we don't have to have this character at the end, but in string we have to have this character in the end. Okay, then we have the syntax of declaring the string. So string can be declared something like this. So here we are mentioning the character data type, then we have the string name, then we have the size of this string. Okay, so for example, I have declared one str string, okay, of character type in which whose size is 50. So character take 1 byte of memory, as we have seen in the previous lectures. Okay, so it will allocate 50 bytes of memory. Okay, and in that 50 bytes, for the zeroth byte, we are storing character A, then character M, then character A again, then character N at third bit byte. Okay, and at the last byte we will store null character, so it will represent the end of the string. Okay, so this will represent the end of the string. So this string can be represented as aman. Okay, so whenever we print this string, so we have to specify the access specific format specifier here. So here the format specifier is %s. Okay, so when we print this str, okay, then the printf will print the characters until printf found the null character. So it will print a m a n, and after that it will stop because there is null character. So it will stop after null character. Okay, so this is about string definition. Now let's see what are ASCII characters. So ASCII characters, so there is a standard. It is called American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So this is a very standard code, and almost in all areas this ASCII standard is followed. Okay, so it is a 7-bit representation of each character. So we in 1 byte there are eight bits. Okay, so in 1 byte there are 8 bits: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 5, 6, 7. So byte contain 8 bits. So a character represented by 7 bits. So here the first 7 bits are used, and the first bit is 0. Okay, so a character is represented by this 7 bits. Okay, so for null character, ASCII value is 0. That means 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, then for new line character, it is 10. So 10 ASCII value would be 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay, then we have space. So space ASCII value is 32. So if we have a string something like this, they are. Okay, so in this here there is a space. So this space has a ASCII value of 32. Then we have 0, 0 ASCII value is 48, 49, and up to 9 we can continuously increment this value. So it will be 57 until 9. So 48 to 59, 57 are represented are represent 0 to 9 characters. Okay. Then we have capital A to capital Z. So it represents 65 to 90 in ASCII value. Okay. And small a to small z, it represents 97 to 122. So you can remember this value. For small a it is 65, and for capital A it is 65, and for small a it is 97. And to find other character ASCII value, you can just simply add how many places they are far from a. Okay, so if you want to find a character value ASCII value of e, so a is 65. Okay, so one second, let me remove this. Yeah, so a is 65, then B is 66, 67, 68, 69. Okay, C, D, E. So E ASCII value would be 69. Okay, okay. So this is about the ASCII value. So you should have to remember from, so A ASCII value is 65 and small a ASCII value is 97. So you have to remember only these two. So it will help you to solve the gate questions. Okay. So let's move on to our next topic. So how can we initialize a string? So a string can be initialized with these things. Okay. So first of all, this is the first way to initialize a string. So in first we declare the string, and at each character we are specifying the character. Okay. So at s of 0 we are specifying c. Okay. So since it is a array, so let me draw one array. Okay. Yeah. So in this, there will be 10 bytes will be there: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So for at the first byte, it will be C, then A, then R, then null character. Okay. And then this S will point to the first address of this byte. Okay. First address of this string. So in memory, a string is represented by this, and all this character will be unused. Means all these bytes will be unused, but it is allocated to this variable s. Okay. Then the second way to initialize a string is like this. So we have CAR null character. So it will allocate 4 bytes. So we are not specifying the size. So compiler will automatically allocate 4 bytes according to the number of character. So CAR and null character. Then we have S. Okay. Similarly, we can also have a string something like this. So if we are representing a string in double quotes, so in C, anything in double quote represents a string constant, means a string. Okay, okay, it is a string literal. Okay, so car, so it will also store in memory something like this. Okay, in which CAR will be there, and compiler will automatically put null character here. Okay, so you don't have to put null character after CAR. So compiler will do it automatically. So this is also one way to initialize the string. Then our second way to initialize the string is something like this, in which we can give the number of bits ahead, but the like here only 3 characters are there, and after 3 character null character will be there. So all the other characters will be unused. Means it will be they will allocate the memory, but it will not be used. Okay. Then we have in pointer notation, we can use something like this: char star s. So we have a string CAR and null character is there and S is pointing to this. So this is also one way to represent a character. So it will be a pointer to this character array, which is ended with null character. Okay. So these are some ways to initialize a string. Okay. So let's move to our next topic. So how can we take a string as an input and how can we display it? Okay. So for that we have to use a format specifier. For string it is %s. Okay. So we know that for integer it is %d. For float it is %f. For character it is %c. For pointer it is %p. Okay. Similarly for %s it is for string. Okay. So first method to read a string. So in this we specify the format specifier and we give the variable name, that is str. So here we are declaring a character array of size 20. So it will be given as input, and scanf will take the input until some white space character is uh, encountered. So a space can be counted as a white space character. Okay. A new line is counted as a white space character, then tab is counted as a white space character /t. Okay. So it will um, take the input until it found some white space character. Okay. So if I am entering something like this, so I have entered Shubham and then space, then Agrawal. Okay. So in this, Shubham will be taken as input, but after that space is there. So scanf will not read after this. So only Shubham will get stored in str, not Agrawal. Okay. For to store a full string, you can use gets. Okay, get s. So it will read until a new line character is found. So it will take the input until a new line character is found. Similarly, we can print a string using format specifier s in printf. So it will print if Shubham is given as input, so it will print Shubham as output. Okay, and we can also use puts for that, which is put s. Okay, in which it will print the result on the standard console. So there is one. So the difference between scanf and getS is that scanf will read until new line or space is encountered or some white space. Okay, and we have getS, so it will read until new line is entered. Okay, means until we press enter it will take the input. Okay, so this is the difference between getS and scanf. Okay, yeah. So let's move to our next topic, that is string functions. So there are different functions which are available in C. So these functions are present in string.h header file. Okay. So string.h header file contains many inbuilt functions which can be used to operate or manipulate the string. So these are some functions. So for length it is strlne, then for copy it is strcpy, then for concatenation it is strcat, then for comparison it is strcmp, then for to find the first occurrence of the character in a string we have strchr, then strstr to find the occurrence of a string in a string, and then we have strrev for to reverse the string, then we have strlwr which lowercase the string, and strupr it will uppercase the string. So let's see all this function one by one. Okay, yeah. So for as I told you earlier, so you have to include this library, okay, to use this function. So include str as string.h. Okay, so let's move to our first function, that is strln. Okay, so it is used to get the length of the string excluding the null character. So it is very important one. So if I have a string car, so it will give 3 but not 4. So it will not count null character at the end. Okay, so 3 will be the output. So here we have a string in which geeks for geeks is there. So int lne str lne s, okay, and we are printing this length. So the length of this string will be uh, once again 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 0 to 12, so its length is 13. Okay, so 13 will be printed here. Also, we can compute the length using this snippet, in which there is C variable we have there, in which we will count the number of character in this string. So we will count the character until a null character is formed. Okay, so we take s of c. So s of 0 will be it is equal to null character. No, it is not equal, so we will increment. So until the null character is found, it will get incremented. So hence the value of c at the end of this for loop will be at the end of this while loop will be 13. So 13 will be the output. So this is about the strln function, which returns the length of the string and it excludes the null character. Okay, so this is about strln. Now let's see strcpy function. So strcpy function is used to copy one string to another string. So if we want to see, if we want if we have two variables str1 and str2, and in str1 there is a string, suppose it is car, and I want to copy it in str2, then I can uh, do something like this, but it will not copy, it will just put a reference to it. Okay, so to copy the string you have to use the strcpy function. So it will copy from destination to source. Okay, so yeah, so destination and source is there. So from source it will copy to destination. Okay, so here I have to put str1 and here I have to put str2. Okay, so str1 is geeks for geeks, str2 is hello. So I want to copy geeks for geeks to str2. Okay, so it will after this str2 will be geeks for geeks. Okay, and then we have str3 equal to 15. Okay, and we are copying this str1 into str3. So at the end of this str3 will be okay, str3 will be geeks for geeks. Okay, yeah. So now we have our next function, that is string concatenate function. It appends the copy of the source string at the end of the destination. Okay, so this is strcat, in which we have to specify destination first and the source. So it will append it. So if we want to concatenate two strings, so I have abc, s1 equal to abc, and s2 equal to def. Okay, so I want to concatenate s2 and s1. So for that I will use strcat s2 comma s1. So it will copy the s1 in s2 at the end of s2. Okay, so it will be def abc. Okay, if we want to copy in s1, then we can do something like this. So it will copy s2 at the end of the destination, that is def. Okay, that is s1. Okay, so this will be the output. Okay, similarly here geeks for geeks hello is there, so str1 str2. So here the output will be geeks for geeks. Okay, and after that hello will be there. Okay, yeah, so this will be our output. So this is about str concatenate function. Then we have str cmp. So it is used to compare two strings. So if I have a string hello, okay, and if I have another string that is hello but with a small h. So when I will compare this string, so if they both are equal, okay, if s1 and s2 are equal, then it will return 0. If s1 and s2 not equal, then it will return something else other than 0. Okay, it will return some non-zero value. Okay, sorry, yeah, some non-zero value. So here hello will be compared with hello, so it will compare character by character. So first character doesn't match, so it will not be equal to 0, hence this string will not be equal to 0. So if we compare hello with hello, then it will give 0 as output when we compare them. So we can say that strings are equal. Okay, and if they are not equal, then we will get strings are not equal. Okay. So this is about strcmp function. Now let's move to our next function, that is strchr function. So this function is used to find the first occurrence of a character in a string. Okay. So if I have a string, suppose I have a string Shubham. So in this string, I want to find whether the character A is present or not. Small a is present or not. So it is present here. Okay. So when I will search it, okay, so it will present here. So this function will return the pointer to this location where the A is present. Okay. So if I have, for example, I have GeeksforGeeks and I want to search a character S in it. Okay. Then I will use this function. Then I will get a pointer to this first S in CH. Okay. And when I print it, so I will get the location of it. So it is currently 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be 4 minus 0 plus 1. So it will be 5. So it is a fifth character from starting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So S is the fifth character from the starting of the string. If we want to find the occurrence of the character from the right, then we can use this function strchr. So it will search in reverse direction. So it will result this first occurrence from the right side is this. So it will return this pointer. Okay. So this is about the strchr function. Then we have strstr function. Okay. So strstr function is used to find a string in another string. Okay. So if we have two strings, s1 and s2, so it will find the occurrence of the substring s2 in the string s1. So it will find the first occurrence of s2 in s1. Okay, first occurrence of s2 in s1. So if we have s1 is GeeksforGeeks. Okay, then if we search for in it, so s2 is for. So if I want to search s2 in s1, then I will compare for f with this g, then it will not be satisfied. So when f will satisfy, f will compared with this f. So yeah, it is true. Then o will be compared with this. Then r will be compared with this. So yeah, this for is exist in this string. Hence, it will return the pointer to the first character of this string. So it will return pointer to f. Okay. So because this string matched with the s2. So substring of s1 matched with the s2. So it will return the pointer to the first character. Okay, so in P, the pointer for f will be there. Okay, so P will point to f. So if we want to search from the reverse direction, then we can use strr function. So there is no space between. So it is a continuous function, strr str. Okay. So you can use this function to find to search in the reverse direction. Okay. Yeah. Now we have our next function, that is strrev. So it returns the reverse of the string. So if I have given a string something like this, geeks, okay, so it will return reverse of it. So it will be skeeg. Okay, so it will return the reverse of it. Then we have strlwr. So it will return the lower case of this string. So geeks. Okay, so it will return the lower case of it. So it will be geeks. So this will be our output. Then we have strupr. So it will return the string in the uppercase. So if we have given GEEKS gigs, so it will return the output as G capital E capital E capital K capital S. So this will be our output. So these are some functions, standard function which can be used on strings, and you can remember this function and it will be very helpful while programming. Okay, yeah. So let's do some questions that were asked in Gate. Okay, so let's do first question. Okay, so it was asked in Gate 2018. So we have given a function, a C program, means there are two function f1. Okay, then we have function f2, and in the main function we have two strings. Okay, so I is there. Okay, then we have by. Okay, so this is pointed by str1, and this is pointed by str2. Okay, so first character, it will point to first character, it will point to b. Okay, so then we are passing this str1 and str2 in s1 and s2. Okay, so let me once again draw it. Yeah, so we have high and it is pointed by str1, and we have by, it is pointed by str, and now str1 is pointing to this and str2 is pointing to this. Okay, so we have pointer here. Then we have a temporary variable temp, which is currently not pointing to anything. Then we have temp, so temp is now pointing to s1, so temp will point to here. Okay, so once again, yeah, temp will point to here. Then s2 will point to s1, means s1 will point to s2. So we remove s1 from here and it will point to s1. Then temp we will assign to s2. Okay, so uh, remove s2 from here and it will be pointing to here. So here s1 now pointing to by and s2 is pointing to high. Okay, so at the end of the function the value doesn't change, only the location of the pointer change, and these pointers are the local variable to this function. So after this function gets over, they will get deleted. So s1 and s2 will get deleted after this, and also temp. Okay, so after the execution of this function the result would be high and by, because there is no change in the result. Okay, so our output is high and by. Okay, now let's come to our second question, second function, in which f2 we are passing the address of s1. So here there is double pointer. So here s1 is pointing to str1 and s2 is pointing to str2. They are not pointing to high and low. They are pointing to str1 and str2. Okay. So when we change the value, so we have a temp in which we are storing the uh, address of s1. Okay. So s1 contains this value. So in temp, this value will be there. Okay, in temp, this value will be there. Okay, so temp will point to this value. In temp, this value will be there. Value of this means, yeah, str1. Then we have uh, str2. In str2, we are giving the value of str1. Okay, so the value of str1 is str2. We are giving the value of, so now str2 value will be, means it will be, so one second, let me just clean it and let me assign something, some address to it first. Okay, so it will be easy for us to then. Okay, okay, so let's suppose this address is 1000 and this is 1002, 1001. Okay, this is 2000, 2001 and 2000. So str contains 1000 and str2 contains 2000. Okay, and it is pointed by s1 and it is pointed by s2. Okay, now we have a temporary pointer, so it is pointing to so it will contain the value of s1, so tmp will contain this, so it will contain the value of s1, so it is 1000. Okay, so temp will point to 1000. Okay, location 1000, so it will point to this, it means the location of this, so it will point to high temp. Okay, then we are having s1 and s1 value is 1000, so we are giving it in temp. Okay, so temp value is 1000. Okay, then we are giving s2 value, so s2 value is 2000 in s1 value, so in s1 now this will be 2000. Okay, so here it is str, so here it will be 2000. Okay, and in str2 we are assigning the value of temp, which is 1000, so this is 1000. So now the addresses of str1 and str2 is changed, so str1 is pointing to this by and str2 is pointing to this high. Okay, so our output will be by high. Okay, so our correct answer would be high by high, high by high. Okay, because here the addresses are changed, here only the pointer variables are changed, but here the actual addresses are changed. Okay, let's move to our next question, which was asked in GATE 2017 set 1, in which we have a program. Okay, so in the main function we have two strings a b c and d e f g. So we have a b c, so it is pointed by x, then we have d e f g and which is pointed by y. Okay, now when we pass this to in the this print length function, so it will come here, and we have a variable c, so c is there, so its value is something c equal to 0. 1 second. Yeah, so we have c equal to 0. So then strlne, so it will give the length of the string s, so now s is pointing to this, and then we have d is pointing to d, so length of s will be 3. Okay, strlne of s will be 3 and strlne of d will be 5. Okay, but one thing is to notice, there is the strlen returns the size t variable, which is an unsigned integer. So in unsigned integer, when we do any operation on unsigned integer, so unsigned, and we do some operations, suppose it is some operation and we have done it with some another unsigned variable, so the result would be an unsigned variable only. Okay, hence the result of 3 minus 5, so 3 minus 5 is -2, so it will be unsigned. So in binary, -2 is represented by this, so this is some value, means it is a 8-bit representation of -2, and if we see it in a unsigned way, so this signed bit carries no value, means it is a positive integer whole, so it will be a very large value. Okay, so when we subtract two unsigned integer, so result would be an unsigned integer. Okay, so if -2 is there, so the negative value of -2 will be this, and it will be a very large value in unsigned form. Okay, so hence when unsigned, so this when this large value is compared with 0, so c is 0, which is also unsigned, so when this large value is compared with 0, so it will result true. Okay, means it will be 1, so the result of this will be 1, hence the strlne of s will be transferred to this lne, so it will become, so the length of this string with so lne will become 3. So when we print this length, the answer will be 3 but not 5, because here the unsigned, we are dealing with unsigned int. Okay, so when we do some operation, it will also result in an unsigned form, and since it is a negative number, so when we convert it into an unsigned number, it will be a very large number. Okay, so as you can see, in 8-bit only, it is represented something 254, I think. Okay, so it is a very large value. Okay, so in because in C, integer is represented by 4 byte, and I have only taken 1 byte here. Okay, so it will be a very large value. Let's move to our second question. So this was asked in GATE 2017, then in set 2, in which we have a program. Okay, so we have one string get CSIT. So let me just draw this get CSIT 2017. Okay. Let me click on this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so there are 12 digits here. Okay, so C is pointing to G, address of G. Then P is also pointing to G. Okay, then we have C plus 2P minus 6P minus 1. So here 2P, so we know that it is a valid thing because compiler will replace this code by this. So 2P will be replaced by this, and it can be also written as P of 2. So we can simply just write 2P as P of 2. Okay, so it is P of 2 and it is P of 6. So P of 2 is T. Okay, and P of 6 is I. Okay, so when we subtract this two value and also subtract minus 1 from this, so it will be some integer value and we are adding it to C. Okay, so the T represented in ASCII value will be, so we know that Z is represented by 90, so Y is represented by 89, Y, X, W, V, U, so it is V, U, T, and S, no? So it would be 88, 87, 86, 85, 84. So T is represented by 84. Okay, and I, for I, A is represented by 65, B 66, 67, 68, 70, 71, 72, 73. Okay, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. So I is represented by 73 and T is represented by 84. So it will be 84 minus 73. So it will be uh, 11. Okay, and when subtract minus 1 from it, so it will be 10. So it will be C plus 10, and C plus 10 is this. Okay, so the output of this, so it will be 17, 17. Okay, so we are computing the length of this 17. Okay, so we have the string 17 here. Okay, so we are computing its length, so it will be 17. So its length will be 2. Hence our answer is 2. So the correct answer would be 2. Okay. Yeah. So the answer is 2. So let's do our next question, which was asked in GATE 2015 set 3, in which we have a string 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is pointed by S1. Okay. So in S1 there are 7 characters and we have taken 4 because fourth character will be 0 and a null character, and 5 and 6 will be some characters we don't know about. Okay, so P will point to S1 plus 2, so P will point to 3, and in the value of, and at P's value means the location pointed by B, its value is replaced by 0. So it will be 1204. Okay. And now when we print S1, so it will print 1204 up to null character. So our output will be, so 1204. So this will be our output. So it matched by C option and C option is correct. Okay. So it is very simple question. Okay. Let's do one more question. So it was asked in GATE 2011. So we have GETA 2011 0123456 7. Okay, so C is pointed by this, P is also pointed by this, and now we have P of 3. So P of 3 is this E. Okay, then P of 1. So P of 1 is A, and the ASCII value of A is 65, and ASCII value of E is just add 5 means 65, 66, 67, 68. I think it will be 69. Yeah, it is 69. So the ASCII value of E is 69 plus P. So it would be P plus 4. 69 minus 65 will be 4. 4. So P is pointing by G plus 4 would be this 2. So when we print this, so it will print 2011. So our answer would be 2011. Okay, so it was also a very easy question. So the question based on string is very easy. Okay, so once you have a proper understanding of strings, you can do any questions on strings. It is very easy. Okay, so that's all for today.